What is up, everybody? I don't remember what part we're on.
I don't have any idea.
Part 3 or 4. Allis XT190 Series 3. Where I left off last week, we were trying to get the steering arms off. You want to see how that went? Well, they're off. That's how they went. I finally had enough of heating and banging on them, so I just got some new ones. We just finished sanding everything on the main frame, got everything off that I want off. We just doused it all again with super clean, and we are getting ready to wash it for the
Millionth time.
third or fourth time. And I decided to take the wheels off, the rims off the back. We weren't gonna, but it's gonna make it way easier to spray the orange. It's gonna make it easier to put the gas tank back on, to run them new remote hoses. And the silver, that was going to be a nightmare, so we can do a nice job on the silver too. So we are going to power wash this thing.
Maybe me.
Maybe Mrs. G. And let it dry, and tomorrow I'm going to spray primer on this thing. We are ready for some primer and paint. That is one clean tractor. If that's not clean enough, it's never gonna be, because we're done washing. Crank the heat up in here, let it dry out, and then tomorrow we'll spray epoxy primer on all of this and the front wheels, and then we'll spray the cream color, and then we'll spray the orange on the frame and the fuel tank. There was a couple big gouges out of the casting on this front weight that we just noticed, so we're gonna have to put a couple coats of filler on that before we paint it, but it's coming. Alright, this batch is done being sprayed with epoxy primer. This fuel tank, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but this, I sprayed it with epoxy just to seal it up, but this is going to get sprayed with 2K urethane and block sanded. Same with this. This still needs to be sanded more. It's got a couple dents in it, but I was just priming the grill part that's about to get painted white. So got about 15 more minutes of dry time, and then we'll start spraying the white. You'll notice that there's a lot of spots that I didn't spray epoxy on, and I didn't lay underneath it and spray every nook and cranny. The main reason for that is PPG epoxy primer is freaking expensive, and that's why we spent so much time power washing to get all the grease and everything off. So we're using really good paint. I'm using Del Fleet single stage on the orange, so I'm not worried about laying under there and priming every nook and cranny. Just spend more time priming the main pieces that you'll see. Got the engine really good, around the sides, console, all of that gets covered up with those deck plates right there. So spray some white here. As far as the cream color, I'm using this is single stage PPG shop line. I get asked a lot what the paint codes are that I'm spraying. There you go. This is just single stage. I think it's acrylic urethane. Yeah, acrylic urethane, and it gets mixed 4 to 1 to 1. So fill it up to 8 with the paint, then the next 8 with the hardener, then the final 8 with the reducer. All right, got 3 coats of the cream color put on the wheels. Laid out really nice. And I primed the rear wheels. I'll show you them in a second, but that gave us time for this filler to dry, so we were able to sand that. Then I had enough epoxy primer left that I went over this and recoated the frame rails and the engine. Tomorrow, I'm gonna spray all of this orange. Let this white dry up so I can cover it up. Spray the orange, and then those rear rims, I'll spray the silver on them, but it's been enough priming and painting for today. Yep, bring you back. All right, it's the next day here. You guys ready to spray some orange? I know I am. This is, there's the paint code, Allis orange number 2. It's Persian orange number 2. This is single stage polyurethane enamel. This is really good paint. I was gonna do my normal base coat, clear coat, but my paint dealer, some of the orange pigments have been, I guess you'd say banned because they had lead in them. So they had to call PPG to get a code for the correct orange, and PPG said it would take them a day. And I didn't want to, it takes me close to an hour to get to my paint dealer, so they said, well, we can mix it right now in Del Fleet. So that's why I went with the Del Fleet. It's a 2 to 1 to half. So 2, 1, half. I was motivated enough yesterday that I sprayed the silver on those wheels last night, so that's all done. They look good. Mix up some paint, start spraying some orange. Well, there you go. 3 coats of orange. There's a whole lot of nooks and crannies under there. God, I love orange. She looks good. On to the next step. Well, I'm working with something that's orange, but not the same orange. April 13th. Just got started. First field. The accelerator is doing an amazing job. After I put that 8-degree kit on it and all the rest of the work that we did to it. Cruising along, 8 miles an hour. Mrs. G is gonna come trade with me, and then I'll bring you back to our other scheduled video. Alright guys, Mrs. G traded with me, running the Steiger. I haven't done a whole lot more on the Allis this week, just been working on the important stuff for planting, but I got the new alternator set on there, new belt, but check this out. All new rubber. New Firestone radials for the back, and it had 3 rib front tires, but I went with 4 rib. I like the 4 rib tires better, but that's all done. Mrs. G painted the radiator all up. I got some parts for it. The new spindle bushings, new sediment bowls. That's the fuel prime pump kit. New air pre-cleaner bowl. This is a kit with the bushings and pins for the seat. New front lug bolts, new fuel cap, new steering wheel cap, grease seals for the front hubs, the joints for the steering cylinder. I got a lot of this stuff from this place out of Michigan. Top links. I got this elbow from Pennsylvania, a Allis scrap yard, because when I was spraying paint, when I ducked down, I happened to see all that goobered up weld on there. This whole ear has been broke off at one point, and yeah, that ain't gonna work. So I'll take this off and repaint that other one and replace it. I am going to take this intake manifold off, and I'm going to polish it. And I got to make up all new hydraulic hoses, but this is going to be a long process on this one, but it's going to get thrown on the back burner for now because it's go time for spring. I'm probably going to start planting here the next day or two, but I need to put the trimmer back into its work clothes right now. Transfer tank needs to go in. Montezuma box. I got one of my weather guard boxes on it, getting ready to put the other one on it, get her set up for spring. So this is probably going to be a little bit of a short video compared to normal, but wanted to get something out for you guys to see. So everybody have a good weekend.